Happy Tuesday, MacLaren. Admire, for a moment, the gentlemen in this picture. Perhaps you will notice their exciting hats, their crutches, or their disheveled appearance, and wonder, who are these people? The answer lies in the title of this 1887 drawing, Vagabonds with Hurdy-Gurdy. The hurdy-gurdy in this picture is being held by the man standing in the center. It is an instrument of medieval origin with a rather fascinating design. It is a stringed instrument, but it is not plucked or played with a bow. Rather, the hurdy-gurdist plays his instrument by turning a crank at the end of the instrument and pressing down keys that push down on the strings. The crank turns a wheel that runs under the strings and thereby takes the place of the bow, which, as you all know, runs over the strings rather than under them. Like a bow, this wheel has to be rosined. The hurdy-gurdy has two types of strings, the melody strings and the drone strings. Take a moment to find them in this diagram. Your teacher can pause the video if necessary. Whereas the melody strings can have their pitch changed by the keys, the drone strings have a constant pitch. Before you hear what this instrument sounds like, I want to share a little bit about its fascinating history. This picture is from the Last Judgment tympanum of the Santiago de Compostela Cathedral in Spain. It depicts two men playing the earliest form of the hurdy-gurdy, which is called the organistrum. This is a 12th century tympanum, and we know that the organistrum was invented at some point in the 10th or 11th century AD, the 900s to 1000s. It was an instrument that was originally used for liturgical worship in the church, so it is perhaps not surprising to find it in the art of a church. But why are there two men playing it? The organistrum was actually 1.5 to 2 meters long, and so required one musician to turn the crank and the other to push the keys. With time, musicians were able to make smaller one-person versions of the hurdy-gurdy. It became a wildly popular instrument during the Renaissance. As musical taste developed toward more polyphonic sounds in the 17th century, however, its popularity with the elite classes declined, and the instrument was used more commonly among the peasant classes, and referred to by names such as the beggar's lyre. In spite of this, the hurdy-gurdy occasionally came back into fashion among the upper classes. It also spread throughout Eastern Europe and Russia, where it came to be used by traveling, often blind, musicians known as lirnik. The idea of these itinerant troubadours was not popular with the Russian authorities of the 19th century, and street performances by vagabonds with hurdy-gurdys were often criminalized until 1902. I'd like to end by sharing a piece of hurdy-gurdy music just so that you can hear what this instrument actually sounds like. And that piece of music should either be linked in the description or in this video itself. I hope you enjoy it and have a great Tuesday, MacLaren.